Shalom, Maki. I'm going to give all praises and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakak, Kadash, that will honor the elders and apostles of GMS who teach and rule well, and salutations to all the Akim in all four corners of earth who's pushing this truth and sincerity. Shalom, Maki. I want to get into this guy right here. This is Governor Tim Walz, and he's over in Minnesota. He's, and if you paying attention to the news, what's going on in Minnesota, ICE agent just shot a civilian, and the ICE agents were brought there by the president. Here is the governor who runs that state, who would be considered the president of that state. He's now told the let me get it right. He told the National Guard to get ready to get on out there in the streets to protect the citizens. So we have a head-on collision course getting ready to happen. The National Guard versus ICE. And this guy is he's scrambling the National Guard, like I said. ICE is over there for reasons that this guy, him, and the people under him have been embezzling money from the child care act that they have out there, and like I was explaining to one of my coworkers that I used to work in the child care industry type shit, and it's in different states is different. I'll put it to you like that, but I know here in Chicagoland area where we live at, it's a shit show, as far as the funding goes, they're underfunded, and the workers there, they're underpaid, they have to deal with a lot of stuff. They have to deal with a lot of work. They're sick all the time, and they have to still come to work, to take care of the people's kids, But in Minnesota, those Hamites, those Cushites over there, they opened up a child care centers all through the state because they know they can get that's another thing too. The government sets aside money. If you wanted to open up a child care, matter of fact, my aunt, she had one where we used to stay at, where she had like 5 to 6 kids, and we had to set the house up a certain way, for it to be DCH approved, So these child care buildings, they got to get funding from the government. That's how they get, a lot of and another thing, these kids, their parents can't pay for it, so they have to get funding. So this dude was wiggling money out of the government through those child care lax laws and just embezzling it into him and his cronies, and them Cushites were taking it. From my understanding, they ran up to like 13 billion. I seen the numbers; it was like 13 billion. It could be more, But he was getting broke off. You best believe, But these times we're in, they're getting ready. Yeah, it's no turning back right now. The things he's trying to cover up, but it's too late, man. The American public knows what's going on over there, and them devils they're not happy about it. This is 1 Thessalonians 5, and I'm gonna start at 1. But of the times and of the seasons, brethren, ye have no need that I write unto you, for yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord so cometh as a thief in the night. For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them, as travaileth upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. So the things that are going to come, is judgment for this place, man. And the Lord stirring it up. He has them divided. He has this whole country divided when you think about it. Hey, this guy was also the one who was trying to put tampons. He wanted to mandate tampons in all men's bathrooms, And it was crazy because earlier this year I'm in the school systems, and one of the school districts I was working in, young boys' bathrooms had tampons in them, man. Just showing you how times are changing, and things are changing right before our very eyes, man. The wicked know they got a short time, man, so they got to roll with what they got going on. Let me continue. This is 1 Thessalonians 5 and 4. But ye, brethren, are not in the darkness, that the day should overtake you as a thief. Ye are all the children of light, and the children of the day. We are not of the night nor of the darkness. Therefore, let us not sleep as do others, but let us watch and be sober, man. And that's our job, man. You know, we see we see this civil strife happening right before our very eyes, man. You know, we're not gonna candy coat it. We're not gonna play no games. It is what it is, man. We see the ICE agents bought by Donald Trump, and we see the National Guard bought in by Wallace right here. And all it needed was a story of somebody getting shot, and what it was, a white woman, part of the LGBTQ plus community, and she got gunned down, and right now they're out in Minnesota tearing it down right now, you know, in Minneapolis. From my understanding, I've seen pictures, they were out there rioting and stuff, protesting, you know, but that was, who's to say that everything's not staged, because this is America, you know, while through the last 20 years, everything, and you can go beyond that, you know, things have been staged left and right before our very eyes. But yeah, the scriptures speak about we are not asleep like the others are, man. You know, the Lord is waking us up. He's giving us these scriptures. We're able to use these scriptures in everyday life, man, and, and tell the things that are going on, man. You know, this is Isaiah 19:1. The burden of Egypt, behold, the Lord rideth upon a swift cloud, and shall come into Egypt. And the idols of Egypt shall be moved at his presence, and the heart of Egypt shall melt in the midst of it. And I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, and they shall fight every one against his brother, and every one against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom, man. And that's what we have going on here in Babylon the Great. Minnesota, Minneapolis, Minnesota, the city where this dude is, or the governor, you know, runs the state, you know, they just went through civil unrest not too long ago with the George Floyd killings and stuff. You know, this place America is getting ready to blow, man. You know, you have different sides, different fractions just ready to go. The ICE agents, they got to put masks on because they can't protect. They got to protect who they are because the United States is against them and what they're doing. When they pull up into the cities, they can't check in the hotels. Now the government is getting mad at the hotels for not allowing the agents to stay there. You know, so you have different forces going against each other here in America. You know, rarely in some cities and states, are they together, because most of the states have a major city, and the major cities are overwhelmed with crime, drugs. You know, and the governor of that state is trying to sweep some of that stuff in the rug, try to say that the numbers aren't that big. And Trump is, in a lot of these states, is like, nah, man, I'm coming with these federal troops. We're gonna shut down them crime. We're gonna shut down them problems, man. You know, so that's how Trump is coming, man. And these governors, they're getting upset. The governor here in Illinois, Pritzker, Trump got on the TV a month ago because Illinois was in the crosshairs a month ago, and they probably still are because the ICE agents was here about a week or two ago. Around the Christmas they were here, you know. But yeah, Governor Pritzker, he got on there and straight up told Pritzker, you need to lose weight. You're unhealthy. Woo, this and that. Had nothing to do with the National Guard, but Trump just clowns these guys, man. He don't care about these people, man. You know, he clowns them. Their house is divided, man. You know. Yeah, the Egyptians against the Egyptians, man. You know. All you know, and once again, this dude right here was the governor, and you know, he was implementing a lot of draconian laws as far as the LGBTQ plus stuff, man. He was hell high waters on it, man. This is Matthew 12:25. And Yahushua knew their thoughts and said unto them, every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation, and every city or house divided against itself shall not stand. And if Satan cast out Satan, he is divided against himself. How shall then his kingdom stand? You know? So how is this place going to continue going on when the leaders are against each other, man? The leaders will even assassinate each other. We've seen it happen with JFK. How many years have they been saying they bring up the files, they're going to tell the truth on this, and they ain't told the truth on nothing? And you still have guys that follow behind the JFK legacy, and the guys who are telling like, man, he was a screw up, you know, we're against him. So America is divided straight down the middle. So like, it's ripening for the taking. So when we hear about You know, these splinter cell groups that are coming here in America to take over. You know, we're not going to find that too far fetched. They're gonna just be able to roll right in because why? Because the house is divided. They're already fighting each other. Isn't this the perfect time to take over something when they're divided and they're going against each other? You know, especially if you're an outside group. This is how America plays. They play in other countries. You know, they'll go to a country that has everything established, set up. They're doing good, but you'll have one guy who's opposition to the leader, and then America will go fund him, go put money behind him, whatever he can do to sabotage the guy who's in power, to sabotage whatever's good is happening in that place. Why? Because America wants the best interests, or whether it be the land, the gold, you know, the oil, you know, different mineral resources, man. You know, these are the things they fight for, man, and they'll take over and kill for, man. You know. But yeah, at the end of the day, you know, this is once again, this place is getting ready to erupt, and the Lord is getting ready to push it even faster and harder down their throat. You know what I'm saying? This is 2026, man. Things are rolling. We're only 6-7 days into this year, and things are rolling, man. You know, rolling. Prophecies are jumping off the board, man. You know, storms. You know, in all diverse places. You know, we got famines. You got pestilence. You got bugs, bed bugs. You got all sorts of different types of insects. The Lord is just dropping upon this place. You know, this is, hey man, this is exciting times to be alive in this truth. With that being said, I'm just edifying. Shalom, Akim.